Today I'm going to try and introduce user interface and basic navigations of App Inventor. So without delay, let's start. First thing first, we're going to have to go to its website. We could just type in Google, let's type App Inventor, or we can just type appinventor.mit.edu and press OK. There you go. Once we are on the website, we're going to have to click on Create Apps. So we have our login page in here. We're gonna have to use our Gmail account. I have mine ready for it. There you go. And then once we are in it, we are probably gonna see a page, not this one, but this page. For those who are coming in here for the first time, you probably will not have any projects in here. So we're gonna have to create our first project. Let's do that. Start new project. Give it a name of testing. I'm gonna use testing 1, I guess. You can see it in here, testing 1, and now you're gonna see this page. So App Inventor essentially has two parts. One is the designer part, and the other one is gonna be blocks part. Designer part, blocks part. Okay, then let's start with our designer part, because this is essentially where we design our game, right? Right, so designer side has 5 parts: palette, viewer, components, properties, and media, of course. So palette is kind of a door where we put all our components and take them out when we want them. So for example, if I want to add an image, I can just pick from here and drag it to my screen. View part is essentially how your app is going to look, the display of your app, right? Okay, and the components, this part is showing all the components that you have in your apps now. For example, I just added an image component, right? So it's in here. And then the properties, I can change the properties of the selected component. For example, when I click on, I don't know, let me add one more component in here. Let's say I want a button, right? So I have 2 components in here. You see, when I click on either one of them, the properties column, it changes, right? So depending on the properties of each component, we can make changes. And of course, the media, any images or videos or audio files that we want to use in our app, we can just upload it from in here. Now let's go to our blog site. So blog site is rather simple, I guess. It has 2 parts, the blocks and the viewer. It's very similar to our designer part. We pick something from the left hand side and drag it to the right. We pick something from the left hand side and we drag it to the right. How I see App Inventor is essentially it works from left hand side to right hand side. What I mean by that is we click or choose components from leftmost side, for example an image, and I move it towards right. Then I move to my further right and then click on the components and maybe change the name of it, I guess. And then last thing, I want to change its properties. So let's say I'm not happy with its sizing, so I'm going to set it to 50%, and even width is 50%. So it's from left towards right. It's same for blocks as well. We choose something from left hand side, any blocks that we want to use, and then drag them towards right hand side. So this is our blocks part. Essentially one of them is called, I mean they're not called blocks, but the category is called built-in, which is default blocks that are there for every game and are made by the App Inventor. The second is blocks for the components that we have. So for example, in our app so far we have 2 images and a button. So when we click on these components, their blocks are gonna appear in this side. So as you might have noticed, when we click on different components, the blocks change. So the difference between these two is when you click on built-in blocks, they are gonna be the same in every game, every app. But these blocks that are related to our components are gonna change depending on our blocks. Right. Last thing that I want to explain is how do we get our app on our mobile phone. So for that, we're gonna have to come back to our designer side, and depending on whether you want to just test it out or you literally want to build it. So if you want to build it, you might as well want to just come and click on build and click on app provide QR code for .apk, right? Just click on it, and then it's probably going to load up, and then after it there's going to be a QR code. You're going to have to use the app, the MIT app, uh, to scan the QR code, and then you should be able to install the app in your Android phone. That's the build part. Secondly, see the this is the QR code that you guys gonna have to scan. But let's say that you have not built your app completely. You are just trying to test it out, few of the features that you have designed so far. Then you can use click on connect, and you can use these two options to test your app on live. For example, if you want to click on companion, you might as well want to use the same app, same MIT app, to scan this QR code, and then you should be able to see your apps in sort of a live version, so the changes that you make would instantly appear on your mobile phone. Let's say that you do not have an Android phone, you're not carrying one, so there is another option, which is to use the emulator, right? Once you click on that, you might, it takes time, but then you can replace an Android phone. Yeah, once you click on that, after waiting a couple of seconds or even a minute, mobile phone, I should say, should pop up on your screen. Do a bit of installation, I guess, and wait for some time, and then you should be able to see your app even in here. So whatever works for you.